Hello, everyone. This is Aaron from Deep Dive Discography talking to Ian Forsythe from Cyborg Octopus. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, Aaron. How are you, man?
I'm doing very well. It's nice and early for you, so
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah, middle of
wrapping
the
up your
afternoon.
day, and yeah. So I mean, it's been a few years since anyone's really heard the name Cyborg Octopus. Been
Ye-
about 6 years now since the last one.
Yeah, yeah, we've been working hard. There was a couple years after the last album we didn't really do any writing or anything. And then just a couple years ago we started strong, and then COVID happened. So there was just helpful little delays along the process, but we were hoping to get it out at the 5-year anniversary mark, which was May of this year. Um, but it didn't quite pan out. So we're going on 6 years now, but August 26th it will be out.
So the new album, Between the Light and Air, what is kind of the idea and concept behind the title and the album itself?
So um, the last album, Learning to Breathe, was really our first time making an album like that before, for anyone in the band. And the writing process for the second album was just so different than the first one, because we were really writing as a full band, and that's probably why it took a little bit longer as well. But when we first started the album, I think we were thinking a lot about, I think maybe energy and influence, I think, are two words that I threw around a lot when we were first writing this album, and kind of themes we were looking at. And what was really important to me was kind of the effects people can have on other people. That was a theme that I think is so prevalent in a lot of things, but it's never addressed like that. And so a lot of the album started with talking about energy, which ended up talking about, kind of our experience with other people. And so the album ended up really being a lot more personal than I think any of us really expected when we first started writing it. Um, and I think at the base level, it's kind of believing and being confident in your choices is a big part of the album. And where does that confidence come from? It's kind of something you bring up yourself, and you create for yourself. And so that's something that I'm always thinking about. And so Between the Light and Air is kind of representing that. It's you're pulling from a place that doesn't necessarily exist to anyone else but yourself, right? That kind of personal relationship you have with the struggle, if that's what you want to call it. So that was really the idea. And then, our band is just a little wild, so we write kind of however we want in terms of what we want the songs to sound like. But then when it came to the themes of all the songs, it was really good to have all of us on the same page, kind of writing personal songs, because it was a lot of input from a lot of different members for the lyrics on the album.
And obviously, everyone likes to make sure genres are very pigeonholed. It doesn't work too well with you guys.
Not us, man, not us.
How would you go about describing Cyborg Octopus to somebody who's never heard it?
um it's experimental and progressive metal, maybe deathcore, if you want to throw the deathcore label around, because we do have breakdowns. We like breakdowns. And I feel like that's a really big pigeonhole. If band's got a lot of breakdowns, they're a deathcore band. But I think we really like just making all different kinds of songs. We're all influenced by a lot of different stuff. So I think it's prog metal for open-minded metalheads. And then, if you are just looking for something out of the normal of what you're listening to, it's definitely something we would suggest to people that are looking to keep an open mind with what they think music could be.
with how with how some prog fans are, would you say it's prog metal for prog fans?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because I think what I love about progressive music is the thematic nature of it. I love the ideas. I love the big ideas, and I think that's huge in prog. And I also think the song structures are obviously advanced or extended. But I think tasteful transitions is such a huge part of prog metal. You know, it's not just having a lot of weird parts, it's putting all those weird parts together in a way that is interesting and fun to listen to, you know. So I think that's really what is important for us, is the groove, you know what I mean? And I think we love prog and we love dancing, and so I think we definitely tried to put that together, and I hope that the truest of prog fans enjoy this new album.
So far, you've released Seizure Of Character, the first single.
Mm-hmm.
By the looks of it, you seem to have gotten a lot of really good response to that one.
Yeah. We're really excited about it, and that was sort of, we decided a long time ago, because the album's been done for probably a year and a half now. So it was a lot of like business end stuff that we kind of were sitting on trying to get the album out, because we obviously wanted it to get to as many people as possible, right? So that song was actually a B-side, not a B-side, but a song that we just didn't get to record for Learning to Breathe. So it was a song that we just didn't think was finished yet when we were recording the first album. And so that song has gone through so many rewrites over the years that it's not even close to the same song that it was, except that piano intro. That piano intro was pretty much the base of the song, and everything got built from that. So yeah, we're really excited about it, but it was definitely a, hey, we're back, everybody. You know, this is some Cyborg, like, you know, Cyborg. And we love the song. We all love the song. So it's Seizure of Character. And yeah, definitely check it out on YouTube if you haven't already.
And if I had to guess, just I was doing a quick flip through the Silent Pendulum Bandcamp page. I could probably guess right now that there's 2 more singles coming before the album.
You're very observant. Yeah, that's ideal. That's ideal. So we filmed a ton of music videos and a ton of content in that year that we were waiting for this to come out. So yeah, we have 2 more music videos before the album, and then hopefully, if we're lucky, there'd be 3 before the album comes out. But I think we're going to save 1 for after the album. So yeah, we've got 3 more singles planned, and it's cool because the album art for the album, each song had a image that was kind of tied to it. So the album cover is the last song on the album, but we were really excited to get cool art done for a lot of the different songs on the album. So that'll be up on Spotify and everywhere once those start releasing as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things I kind of noticed here, because you have a shirt for both the Projector and Spectres,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of what gave it away a little bit.
Yeah. So Spectres is one of our weirder ones. That's gonna be a kind of genre bend. It was originally called Spaghetti Western, was the name of the song. So we're really excited about that one getting out. And then the Projector is that's our super prog song on the album. That's our 8-minute sort of epic long form song that we're all really happy about as well. So we're hoping to get those out really soon.
So with like you said, each song kind of has its own bit of art. They obviously have their own shirts which has the art on it. What can the art kind of give away for each of the songs?
I think maybe themes. I think, yeah, again, when I think of prog, I think themes and thinking that cohesive vision, right? And so when we were putting it all together, for the Spectres song, it's definitely heavy, but it's got a lot of weird Western going on. So there is, I called it like Western hieroglyphs on the shirt. So, you know, there's like cactuses and little guns and stuff. And the video's a lot of fun too. We had a lot of fun filming that. I directed that video and bought all the outfits for everybody. And so that was my first time directing. So 2 of the videos that we did, we busted them both out in a weekend. So we had the whole band together, filmed one in one full day, and then the next day we filmed another one. So yeah, definitely the thematics. And then the Projector is probably one of the darkest songs on the album, and that's really, you know, about both people pushing their negative onto you, you know, and trying to project what they think is wrong with you onto you, and maybe creating some insecurities in a person that they didn't have to start with, right? So I think those negative influences is a lot of what the Projector's about. So I'm really excited to get that one out. It's one of the band's favorites, so we're really excited about that one.
Yeah, the shirt for the Projector obviously has the art on it, and it definitely gives a much darker vibe to it.
And
Whereas, oh, sorry, go ahead.
And for, you know, the last album did have some dark parts on it, and but it's wacky, right? And the new album's wacky as well. And there's parts that are just stupid because we like that, but there's also a lot more serious lyrical content. I think was something we wanted to, you know, we wanted to really feel these songs. You know, a lot of the music we love, the people writing it, they care about it a lot. You know, they care about what they're writing about. And I think even with the songs, like there was a couple songs we wanted to write like a traditional death metal lyric song, and it just didn't ever end up happening. You know, we just were always writing things that we just got so emo with everything we were doing. We were really, really happy to just be as personal as we could with them.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I keep going back to the art here, but like it does kind of show the three bits of personality that Cyborg Octopus has. You have the cover art, which is that kind of the proggy look, you know, the thematic look. You have the Projector, which is very dark, and then the Spectres one, and it's wacky. The more you look at it, the more you start to see on it. So it does very much capture exactly what you guys are doing with this album, and it works really well.
Thank you. Yeah. When it comes to the images for the album and stuff, it was a lot of us designing things or kind of creating it and then sending it off to an artist. So a lot of it was me. I would create, I call them like ghetto album art. I would take Microsoft Paint and like put images together in the way I wanted them to look. And then I'd send that off to the artist and also tell them what kind of colors I wanted them to use. So we were very deliberate with everything we were doing. And the Projector shirt, we actually got that design off an artist off Fiverr. You know, I know a lot of people do stuff off Fiverr nowadays, but it was really fun to kind of just find an artist. He's from Indonesia, and he really did take all the kind of feedback we gave to him and created something really cool.
You should take one of those Microsoft Paint arts and just throw that on a shirt.
So the plan is at some point, you know, because we're not super great at social media. Not a lot of the guys in the band are very social media focused. So it's definitely something we're working on coming back from with the new album. But that's something I want to put up at some point. I want to show the Microsoft Paint image I did next to the actual album art. And kind of show people what we did to get the ideas across, because that was fun. And that's actually what I did for the Learning to Breathe album cover as well. I you know, Microsoft painted myself an image and then gave it to the artist for a much better outcome.
Well, next time an album cycle comes around, when you go to do this, record your screen, and then you got TikTok videos.
Oh, that's not a bad idea too. See, that's TikTok. We're on a whole nother level. I don't think we even have a TikTok. That's too fancy for us.
Too modern.
Yeah, we're trying our best, but we all really we all like having social media to like talk to our friends, but we're not necessarily the type to just post all the time and like just let everybody know what's going on in our world. So it's something we're definitely working on, and people have given us a lot of crap about that over the years too. Like, are you guys dead? So a couple of years ago I had to post a picture of us like, no, we're not dead, we're still doing stuff.
Yeah, and I guess this day and age is actually really hard with stuff like TikTok, because their algorithm is more or less, if you don't post daily, you disappear. People just won't see you.
And we're definitely feeling that with our YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, subscribe to Cyborg Octopus. We have a couple videos coming out. So there's going to be there's already one video on the Silent Pendulum YouTube, but there's going to be two on our YouTube music videos, and then one more on the Silent Pendulum YouTube. So definitely follow those, because our reach has definitely been diminished after a couple of years of not uploading new videos.
Yeah, it is brutal how the algorithms work now. So
But
what
it
is
gets me watching weird stuff. You know, the other day I was watching a guy on YouTube that bought a uh, a, a lobster at the grocery store, and then he kept it as a pet. And like, how did the algorithm get me that? I don't know, but it did. It got me, and I watched it for a full 30 minutes. So, you know, sometimes the algorithm is magic, but it doesn't help too much if you're in a death metal band.
if it helps, the algorithm has led me to somebody who fed a seagull out of their window for
Oh,
60 days and tried to convince it to become their friend.
that's hella funny. But you know, you wouldn't like. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm glad someone out there in the world is doing that. So
Yeah,
I am getting that secondhand fun. You know.
exactly. Like, why not? But yeah, I mean, it becomes brutal if you are trying to be in a band who only uploads when you have music videos and a new
Yeah.
song to share and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So, on the note of videos that could be taken and uploaded, what is the next step for you guys when it comes to touring?
So we have a 3 day run with our friends in Flub. They're on the Artisan era. And they're the first band we ever toured with. So we're doing a small 3 day run with them in California. And that's in August. So that's August 5th, 6th, and 7th. So that will be Sacramento, San Francisco, Fresno. So that's going to be a weekend warrior type thing. And then we're trying to plan something a little longer in mid-October, but that's still under wraps right now. But so yeah, once the album comes out, we're hoping to get out there and get on the road a little bit.
So, what songs are you most looking forward to playing?
We're actually already playing one that I'm really excited about called Old Stories. So Old Stories is the first song on the album. And it's kind of a power metal song. Like it's a power metal song with just with a strong sax solo towards the end. There's a lot of like harmonies going on towards the end of the song. And there's a couple different vocal styles I do on the album that I didn't do as much of on the previous album. So I really like doing that one live because I get to do, you know, the pitched screams and I get to kind of sing a little bit. But it's also one of my favorite ones since we've written it. So I'm really excited just to get out new music. We hear so much like, hey, we've heard these songs a ton. When is it going to be new music? So we're really excited. We're playing 3 new songs right now. Or with the shows that are upcoming, we're going to be playing 3 new songs. So we're excited about that.
One presumably being Seizure of Character.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then, I mean, one thing you did mention is the amount of different vocal styles that you do, and obviously a lot of people do get a bit iffy when you start to mention clean singing and death metal and blah blah
Uh-huh.
blah blah blah. I mean, obviously your stance is it belongs. Music's
Yeah.
music, end of the day. But when it comes to those people, what kind of tips would you give them to finally get over their fear?
Well, I think about it the same way because you know I have a lot of people in my life that don't necessarily listen to death metal, and so when I explain screaming to them, I explain, hey, stop looking at it the exact same way as singing, and think about it as maybe a percussive instrument or an extra rhythm in the song. You know what I mean? Obviously, you might not like the textures of the scream, but look at it as another instrument. Um, and so yes, there is cleans on the album. There was cleans on the last album. So it's not like we've never sang before, you know, even on the last album, if it's appropriate and it fits the part, we're gonna do it. So there are those pieces. But again, I think Cyborg is definitely for people that are open-minded. And I think in prog and death metal in general, you know, these people have to be open-minded to be listening to this stuff. So I think when it comes to those elitists that won't listen to anything with clean singing, I don't know what to tell you there. I think there's a couple songs on the album that don't have any clean singing on them. But I'd say it's the album's like 70+% screaming. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm like totally foregoing everything I've ever done and starting a whole new thing. But I am adding. And I think on the last album, I was spending a lot of time trying to not step on the toes of all the other instruments, you know? So I was trying to add rhythmically without getting in the way because there was so much going on. And there still is a lot going on. But I think this time I'm trying more to when I am singing or when I am doing pitch vocals, I'm trying to help uplift what we think are the most important parts of the song. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe just look at it as part of the whole composition, because it's all just one big song. There's no reason to exclude it because I'm using my beautiful voice.
Yeah, I guess end of the day, the elitists and gatekeepers and all that will always be there. I mean,
Yeah.
we're seeing a big influx of it now because of the whole Stranger Things Metallica thing.
Yeah.
People getting mad that people are now listening to Metallica because they heard it in Stranger Things.
Yeah. And I saw this meme, and it was like, why are you mad at people that are taking music influence from Stranger Things when your whole music taste is all based off Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2?
Yep.
And it's too true. You know what I mean? Because like I grew up a ska kid. I love punk. I love System of a Down is one of my favorite bands of all time, and that was Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You know, so it's just media is there. It's an opportunity for more people to hear music. Obviously, almost everyone in the world has listened to Metallica at this point, but if there's a couple people that haven't, more power to them if they found it from Stranger Things.
Yeah. Or some people have only heard something like Enter Sandman and didn't realize that they wanted something heavy.
Yeah. So, for the metal elitist, you're never going to make them happy. But I think if you believe in what you're doing strongly enough, maybe they'll come over to your side. And we experience that a lot on tour because, we like dressing up and kind of making jokes of ourselves on stage because, I mean, we all think of death metal as like theater, right? So it's something that, again, is very thematic and very performative. And so we dress up like what we want to, you know what I mean? So whatever we feel like wearing and whatever makes us feel like superheroes that night to go up on stage is what we're going to wear. So on tour and when we're playing shows to people who haven't seen us before, it's always fun to see them start, kind of the cross arm, like they're not happy about what they're seeing. And then kind of over time, you see these death metal guys or the dudes with the denim jackets start smiling. And that's when I know we got them. When I see them smiling and I see them having a good time, that's when I know we've done our job, because, we're there to have a good time and show what we've made. And hopefully other people enjoy it too.
Awesome. And one last thing, is there any final notes you'd like to leave for the fans listening in and everything for the new Cyborg Octopus?
We are so excited to share it. Honestly, we've been sitting on this for a while and we are so happy and excited to get this out. If you have been listening to us since Learning to Breathe, thank you so much for sticking around. We see all the comments and random things people put on the internet trying to like make fun of us to come back. We are trying really hard to get out there and play to all the random places that people want us to go, one step at a time. And again, thank you so much for supporting and being a part of it.
It's awesome. Thank you so much, Ian. I really much appreciate your time. The new album, like I said, comes out in August. I had the date right in front of me, and then I moved it August 26th.
Hell yeah.
Look at that. It's almost like I didn't lose it. August 26th. It is out on Silent Pendulum Records. If you go to their Bandcamp, there's lots of merch, including flags.
And another quick point is we are re-releasing Learning to Breathe on vinyl as well. So the new album's coming out, but we on the very same day are going to be re-releasing our first album on vinyl. So if you're interested, that's going to be up on the Silent Pendulum website for pre-order as well.
Oh, and on that note, the vinyl for this album looks really nice.
Thank you. Yeah, me and Taylor Bates from Steak Sauce Mustache. He is the graphic designer for the label, so I worked with him, kind of figuring out what kind of colors we wanted and stuff. And he's great. So Steak Sauce Mustache as well, if you're interested in weird music.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully paths cross on the road. But
absolutely, we hope to come to Scotland sometime very soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Ian.
Thanks, Aaron. See you, man.